I always take my shoes off when I sit on this very nice couch. Let's call it a sofa. This is actually a used piece of furniture, and that's what I want to talk about right now. I bought this used from a place called Good Used Furniture in our downtown area. And I bumped into the owner and I said, "How do you do this? I bought this sofa," which was sitting back in the room. "I bought this sofa at a fraction of what it should have cost, even used, because it's a very nice sofa." And he said, "Well, a lot of people don't ask me how I do it, but I buy furniture from serious crime scenes, and I pay pennies on the dollar. I buy it from businesses that have seen a serious crime or from families that are victims of a serious crime. I buy it for pennies on the dollar, and I sell it for dimes on the dollar, so I come out very, very well." And I said, "You don't tell anybody this? You just call your place Good Used Furniture?" And he said, "Well, it's good used furniture, isn't it?" Well, I can't argue with that. It is good used furniture. I said, "But if it's furniture that comes from a serious crime scene, how come it's good used furniture?" And he said, "It's because I invest the time and money in fixing it up." He said, "If there's blood on it, or if there are gashes in it, or bodily fluids," he said, "I clean it up and I still come out selling it now for maybe quarters on the dollar." I said, "Well, what's the story of the piece of furniture that I just bought?" He said, "Well, a guy died on it." He said he was a man who did not get along with his wife, an older gentleman who didn't get along with his wife in the best of circumstances. But during this kind of COVID lockdown, they really got at each other's throat. And she put a pillow on his face and she killed him on the furniture, the sofa that you bought. I bought it from his family, or their family, because the wife went to jail, and you got a good deal on it. Wow. I said, "Well, you can clean up anything?" He said, "Well, not everything." He said, for example, a teenager used an axe to murder his mother, who was sitting on a lazy boy recliner. And the blood was so intense and the tears in the fabric were so intense that I had to throw that lazy boy away. I couldn't sell it. But even so, I bought it so cheaply, so what, I threw it away. All right, the furniture was delivered. I didn't give it much of a thought. Then I started to think about my career in branding and in communications and in advertising. And I thought, I ought to go back and see this guy and tell him he needs to rebrand his company called Good Used Furniture and capitalize on the huge discounts that he can offer by buying from serious crime scenes. So I'm going to go see him tomorrow. I have an appointment. And I'm going to take him, what I propose is his new name for the business and his new online presence, which he doesn't have. And I'm going to show you now what I'm going to show him tomorrow. I came up with a name for the company, and I came up for a tagline for the company so that consumers, people like me, could understand the benefits of dealing with him. So I played with all of the facts: serious crime, murders, death, mayhem, furniture. How do I combine it all? I think I'm on to something, and I'm going to show it to him tomorrow. Here is what I propose should be the new name for his business. All right? And it needs a tagline, because the name by itself doesn't tell the whole story. And this is the tagline: big crimes mean big savings. What do you think? And furthermore, should I invest in the company?